Okay, in this video we're going to learn how to add and subtract fractions. So the most important thing is that we need to make the denominators the same. This is the bottom part of the fraction. So if our example was 2/3 plus 1/4, to figure out what the denominator has to be, you think of a number that divides by 3 and by 4 exactly. So another way of thinking about it is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4. If you weren't too sure, you could just do your 3 times tables over at the side. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, etc. And the 4 times table is 4, 8, 12. Once you get a number that appears in both, use that as your denominator. So we're going to use 12 as our denominator for both fractions. Now, whatever you multiply the denominator by to make 12 is what you're going to multiply the numerator by. So 3 times 4 makes 12, so you must multiply the 2 by 4 also. 2 fours are 8. So 2/3 is exactly the same as 8/12, as 8/12 is an equivalent fraction to 2/3, so we can use that instead. Now to get from 4 to 12, we times by 3. So you have to do the same to the number 1. 1 times 3 is 3. So 1/4 is exactly the same as 3/12. Now that we've got two denominators that are the same, we can now add our numerators together. So 8 plus 3 is 11. Keep the denominator the same. Our final answer is 11/12. Okay, let's try another example. 5/6, take away 1/3. Okay, in this example, you should see that 3 divides exactly into 6. So 6 can be our lowest common multiple. So I'm not going to touch the first fraction, I'm going to keep it as it is. But our second fraction needs to change to a 6 on the denominator. How do you get from 3 to 6? We times by 2. 1 times 2 is 2, so the numerator will become a 2. 5 subtract 2 is 3. Keep your denominator the same. Now you'll notice that 3/6 is the same as 1/2 because both parts divide by 3, so we need to simplify down. You always should be given your fractional answer in its simplest form. Okay, we'll do one where it's a mixed fraction. So just say we had 1/2 plus 3/4. A mixed fraction, we change into a top-heavy fraction first before we start. So to do this, you take the 2 and multiply it by the whole number, which is 1, and then add on the numerator. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, keep the denominator the same. Okay, so 1/2 is the same as 3/2. Now we can add our 3/4 onto that, 3/4. So you could use 8 as your denominator. I'm going to use 4 because it's smaller. 3/4 would stay the same because I haven't changed the denominator. The 2 has been multiplied by 2 to get to 4, so 3 2s are 6. Now if we add them we get 9/4, and you could leave your answer as a top-heavy fraction or you can change it into a mixed number, which is what I like to do. So 4 into 9 goes twice with 1 left over, and the denominator is 4. So 4 goes into 9 twice, that's our whole number. The remainder, which was the 1, goes on top as the numerator, and the denominator stays the same. Okay, let's do another one with mixed fractions. 3 5 6, take away 7/8. I'll make that 1 7/8, make it a wee bit harder. Okay, let's multiply. So 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 5 is 23. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 7 is 15. Okay, what can we make the denominator? Think of the lowest common multiple of 6 and 8. What number is on the 6 times tables and on the 8 times tables? And try and think of the smallest number. If you couldn't think of any number, you could use 48 because 6 times 8 is 48. but 24 is a smaller number that works. 24 is on the 6 times tables, and it's also on the 8 times tables. So we're going to use 24. Okay, how do you get from 8 to 24? We times by 3. How do we get from 6 to 24? We times by 4. So let's multiply 23 by 4 first. So 23 times 4 is 92. If you didn't know that, obviously just do a little multiplication sum at the side is totally fine. You don't need to do these in your head. 15 times 3 is 45. Now do subtraction. 92 take away 45. I'm actually going to do a little sum to make sure I get it right. Let's do it here. So 2 take away 5 I can't do. Make that an 8, make that 12. 12 take away 5 is 7. 8 take away 4 is 4. 47. So it's 47 over 24. Now you can leave it as that because nothing divides into 24 and 47, or you can change it into a mixed fraction. 24 goes into 47 once with 23 left over, so the answer is 1 and 23 over 24.